This is part 1. Jeffrey Epstein, the information broker behind the honey trap. Jeffrey Epstein was a monster. He systematically exploited, trafficked, and abused dozens, by some accounts over 1,000, young girls and women, many underage. The trauma inflicted on those victims is real, profound, and unforgivable. No analysis of his network should ever minimize that horror or treat the bait, as some coldly call them, as mere props in a larger game. They were human beings whose lives were shattered for the gratification and leverage of powerful men. That said, the mountain of evidence now public, including flight logs, victim testimonies, property searches, and recently unsealed documents, points to something larger than a simple sex trafficking ring. Epstein ran a sophisticated compromat operation, a blackmail and intelligence machine in which underage sex was the lure, but secrets, recordings, and influence were the real product. The surface story versus the deeper one. Mainstream coverage has rightly hammered the sex crimes. Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to procuring minors for prostitution in Florida. He was arrested again in 2019 on federal sex trafficking charges and died in jail weeks later, officially ruled suicide amid glaring security failures. Ghislaine Maxwell, his longtime partner, was convicted in 2021 of recruiting and grooming victims. The Lolita Express jet, Little St. James Island, the Palm Beach mansion, these have become shorthand for elite depravity. But from the beginning, something didn't add up. How did a college dropout with no obvious family wealth become a billionaire financier able to hobnob with presidents, prime ministers, Nobel laureates, and tech titans? Why did he receive such a shockingly lenient 2008 plea deal, 18 months with extensive work release, immunity for unnamed co-conspirators, and the case sealed from victims? And why, even after his 2019 arrest and death, do so many documents, hard drives, and potential recordings remain either redacted, destroyed, or unaccounted for? The answer, increasingly suggested by court filings, victim accounts, and fresh 2025-2026 document releases, is that Epstein was first and foremost an information broker. Sex was the tool to compromise targets. The real currency was leverage over the rich, powerful, and politically connected. The surveillance infrastructure. Epstein's properties were wired like a spy den. Victims repeatedly told investigators they believed they were being filmed. In February 2014, years after his first conviction, Epstein emailed his longtime pilot Larry Visosky, "Let's get 3 motion-detected hidden cameras that record." Visosky replied he had bought 2 tiny units from a Fort Lauderdale surveillance store, capable of 64 hours of recording, and was installing them into Kleenex boxes for the Palm Beach mansion. Photos from the New York townhouse later showed obvious cameras in bedrooms and common areas. Recent DOJ releases confirm Epstein maintained at least 6 secret storage units across the United States, rented from 2003 until his death in 2019. Financial records show he paid private detectives tens of thousands of dollars to remove computers, hard drives, photographs, CDs, and other equipment from his Florida home after he was apparently tipped off about the 2005-2006 police investigation. Some of those computers came from Little St. James. Search warrants reviewed by journalists indicate federal authorities never raided the lockers. Victim's attorney Gloria Allred has publicly demanded the FBI search them immediately. Recent DOJ releases confirm Epstein maintained at least 6 secret storage units across the United States, rented from 2003 until his death in 2019. Financial records show he paid private detectives tens of thousands of dollars to remove computers, hard drives, photographs, CDs, and other equipment from his Florida home after he was apparently tipped off about the 2005-2006 police investigation. Some of those computers came from Little St. James. Search warrants reviewed by journalists indicate federal authorities never raided the lockers. Victim's attorney Gloria Allred has publicly demanded the FBI search them immediately. An official 2025 FBI review of its Epstein holdings claimed no credible evidence of blackmail against prominent individuals and no client list. Yet the physical evidence of hidden cameras, motion-triggered recording, off-site data dumps, and the sheer volume of material moved out of reach of investigators tells a different story. Why build and hide such an apparatus if the only goal was personal gratification? Next, the intelligence connections.